Discount double check Aaron Rodgers, the Green Bay Packers. Glad you're aboard here on Chargerdude95's YouTube page. We are back at it yet again with another live stream. We are just days away from what will be a very exciting and very hectic year when it comes to some of what's going on Chargerdude95's YouTube page, as the live stream brings you today the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. Some big movements being made today in NFL free agency. We talk about most recently the Packers acquiring Jimmy Graham, the former Seahawk, along with Muhammad Wilkerson, as the free agency deal has just gone absolutely rambunctious in the National Football League. We have seen absolute madness when it comes to free agency, and it hasn't even started yet. That will be tomorrow. So until then, there's some incredible stuff going on, and we are very much set to bring you all of it here on Chargerdude95's live stream. Make sure to be engaged with our comments to take a look at exactly what's going on throughout free agency and more, as this is the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. AAVGS Andy, we're glad that you are with us, as it's your first time, which is absolutely ridiculous, for the Chargerdude95 live stream. We'll be going on throughout the duration of this ball game to bring you the Packers and the 49ers in a prime time battle from Lambeau Field in chilly Green Bay, Wisconsin. The Packers and the 49ers meet in an NFC duel that should have some implications when we look at exactly what these two teams could potentially do in the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers returning from what was a dreadful injury he suffered to his shoulder 9 games into last year. San Francisco retooled, led by quarterback Jimmy Garropolo, along with a dynamic defense led by recent free agent acquisition in Richard Sherman, the cornerback formerly from Seattle. The 49ers in their white tops and their orange bottoms, Green Bay, and their beautiful uniforms themselves. Monica Sherrod, thank you so much for being a part of us here at Green Bay, Wisconsin, for tonight's ball game between the Packers and the 49ers. Things are going well here for the Chargerdude95 live stream as the kickoff is away. It is returnable for the 49ers, taken by Goodwin, the dangerous receiver at the 2. He crosses to the 20 and motors ahead to the 30-yard line. That's where we take the first look of the ball game by quarterback Jimmy Garropolo, the 5-year man from Eastern Illinois. He tore up the NFL last year, going 5-0 as a starter, 7-0 as a starter during his career, formerly the New England Patriot backup, engineering game-winning drives in 3 different occasions. This is a terrific quarterback to go along with the football team that has some promise in the NFC West. San Francisco starts this possession and the first offensive drive of the ball game at their own 30-yard line. San Francisco last year, despite the emergence of Jimmy Garropolo, the 49ers were bottom 3rd in the league in scoring last year at under 21 points a game. 1st and 10, a gut run. Here's Hyde, who is hit and swallowed up for a loss, as Carlos Hyde expects to be the bell cow for the 49ers, and Mike Daniels slams the door shut on the first run of the ball game for San Francisco. This is a simulation here today. We expect many more of these throughout the Chargerdude95 live stream, as I am in less than 2 months creating a series called May Madness to simulate the teams as they stand following the NFL draft and who will win Super Bowl 53. So the fascination behind that is we don't know right now how the Green Bay Packers will fare in the NFC North with all the different changes that they have made. How will they look with now Jimmy Graham and Muhammad Wilkerson on the football team? Well, Chargerdude95 will have an entire simulation of the year and the playoffs and the Super Bowl before the next season even starts. So that's the real fascination behind it. I love to have fans know more about what these teams will look like in the coming year, and just kind of the intrigue of a simulation. Garropolo unloads it over the middle, caught by Taylor in traffic, and he's wrapped up with a 43 of Green Bay. Trent Taylor with a pitch and catch of 28 from Jimmy Garropolo. First down, San Francisco, and Garropolo, if he makes throws like that for the 2018 season, the 49ers may just be playoff bound. Garropolo, 67% completions, 1,560 yards, 7 touchdowns and 5 picks last year. Here's a gut handoff. Here's Hyde, reverses field. He spins off of 2 tackles and pinballs with a 32. An 11-yard dash for Carlos Hyde. First down, San Francisco. Hyde, in his 5th season out of Ohio State, he is a dangerous runner between the tackles. The 49er halfback, 8 touchdowns on the ground, and also caught 59 passes last year for no matter who was the signal caller for the 49ers. Glad you're aboard. Here are the Chargerdude95 live stream. 1st and 10. 49ers a promising opening drive. Here is Hyde over right tackle, and he spins for a gain of 5. So the way things will work this year for Chargerdude95 is, of course, we have the upcoming May Madness, which is the simulation of the upcoming 2018 season and Super Bowl 53. So there's the fascination behind that, and currently being tossed around right now. And I'd love to get the fans' thoughts about exactly what they're looking for this, or just what they thought today of the fantastic moves being made in NFL free agency. What exactly do you think about maybe having a dream season next year? I'll be certainly taking comments of that. A play action, Garropolo looks and guns it. It's caught underneath by the fullback, but he's out of bounds, intended in a flat for Kyle Juszczyk, the 6-year man from Harvard. That'll set up 3rd and 5 for the 49ers. San Francisco, a very effective opening drive, moving from their own 30 to the Green Bay 27. Certainly the 49ers in scoring range at the moment as they bring in Matt Breida, the tailback, to flank Garropolo to the left. A tight 2-by-2 on a 3rd and 5. Garropolo, he takes a helmet high snap, shoots it right, caught by Robinson as he makes a man miss, and is pulled down at the 15. A gain of 12 to Aldred Robinson, the 7-year man from SMU. First down, San Francisco. All right, the 49ers are certainly far more than just Jimmy Garropolo. They have a dangerous receiving core, and the 49ers are an up-and-coming, very tenacious running football team with a 2-headed monster brewing in Breida and in Hyde. The throw by Garropolo falls incomplete, and we do have an injury on the field, as with 3 minutes elapsed here in the opening quarter, we are scoreless from Lambeau Field in beautiful Green Bay, Wisconsin. So this live stream certainly is to showcase these two football teams as they stand today. The 49ers, this offense certainly looks very similar towards the tail end of last year, but I did make the moves about Richard Sherman coming to San Francisco. I released Elvis Dumerville from the roster and picked up the giant offensive guard in Weston Richburg, who was just picked up by San Francisco this afternoon. As for Green Bay, there are some important changes that were made, as on a 2nd and 10, 49ers go to the draw. Here is Hyde over left yard, and he motors to the 13. It's a gain of 2. Daniels on the tackle for Green Bay. Glad you're with us, Gavin Hill, one of my favorite live stream commentaries. 3:45 to go in the opening quarter, as we are still scoreless. 49ers need the 5-yard line to move the chains. Big movements on Green Bay's end, including Muhammad Wilkerson. He is the left end for this Green Bay defense. Early movement, that's a false start on the 49ers, back them up 5. It's been an exciting opening drive for the 49ers, advancing from their own 30 to now the Green Bay 18. They're going backwards with the false start by Brown. The Packers made big movements throughout this entire offseason. It started about a month ago when they traded for quarterback DeShone Kizer, the starter of the Browns last year, before a very hectic last 48 hours with Muhammad Wilkerson and Jimmy Graham coming to town, and they let go of star receiver Jordy Nelson. I'd love to get the fans' thoughts about Jordy Nelson and arguably one of the most head-scratching releases in the NFL today. The handoff to Hyde, and he is wrapped up well short of the first, the former Crimson Tide safety of Alabama. That's Sean Quinton-Dix on the tackle for Green Bay. Glad you're with us on the Chargerdude95 live stream. San Francisco's kicker, he is one of the best in NFL history, Robbie Gould, the 14-year pro from Penn State. This will be a 28-yarder on the right hash. Out of the hold from C.J. Beathard, the kick by Gould is up and good. 3:01 to go opening quarter. Glad you're aboard on the Chargerdude95 live stream. It's the 49ers 3 and the Packers nothing. Nick Rice on board here. A real interesting idea going on right now about what's coming up in Made Madness, as I am incredibly excited to bring this to all of you folks on Chargerdude95's YouTube page, and here are the details. So these two teams are updated as it stands right now. The Green Bay Packers, they made big movements today. Please chime in. What do you think about the moves of Muhammad Wilkerson and also of Jimmy Graham, and maybe the most controversial movement of the day, Green Bay releasing Jordy Nelson, which I made into this roster here as Montgomery returns. He's at the 20 and weaves his way to the 25. Quarterback Aaron Rodgers, I also made him healthy. That's a big movement in the Packers' direction. One of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, maybe the best for this coming year, is Aaron Rodgers. And he steps onto the field for the Green Bay offense. Last year, with the Packers shuffling through quarterbacks a season ago, they finished the regular season out of the playoffs at 7-9. And for Green Bay, that was a very disappointing finish for them, considering that all of the pundits going into the year thought that the Packers would be one of the best teams in the NFL. They certainly have the talent to do so with Jimmy Graham coming to town. And the Green Bay Packers down 3-0 early. Stretch handoff to the right. Here's Montgomery. He finds his seam to the 30 and is chased down from behind. It's a gain of 7. The tackle by Jaquizzy Tarts, the 4-year safety from Sanford. This coming May, Chargerdude95 debuts what is called May Madness, where I take all of the up-to-date rosters immediately following the NFL draft, which is looming, by the way, folks, and simulate the entire year and the playoffs, and I will tell you by way of simulation who wins Super Bowl 53. Very exciting time as the quick flip is caught by Kendricks, the tight end, and he runs up the field for 12 and a Green Bay first down. By the Packers, they have been rolling on this opening drive as they trail early to the San Francisco 49ers here at home. It's been a game that I'm sure the Packers have circled on their schedule coming into this season, knowing that the 49ers will be a far different looking football team in 2018. First and 10, a gut run to Williams. He bounces off a tackle and is tripped up from behind. It's a gain of 3 to Forrest Buckner on the tackle for San Francisco. A Discord server. Could you please explain, Gavin Hill? A Discord server. I'd like to add you, though, Dragonstorm678. This is also a great opportunity for folks to get involved in the chat boards, also potentially, promote some of what you guys have going on, which would certainly be a boost here for Chargerdude95 and for you guys. On a first and 10, a play action, Rodgers unloads it over the middle, caught by Allison helmet high, and he is wrapped up at the 30. A catch and run of 22 to Geronimo Allison. Because of Jordy Nelson being in the fold for 10 years with the Green Bay Packers, Allison recently has hid beneath the radar in that Packers loaded receiving corps alongside of Devontae Adams and more. But the Packers' Allison should have a big year for Green Bay. Deep drop, Rodgers fires over the middle, caught by Graham, and he's down to the 17-yard line. First down, Green Bay. We do not know what number Jimmy Graham will wear, but your eyes do not deceive you. That is the former Seahawks tight end. Let's take a second look as Jimmy Graham runs just a quick streak route over the right hash and makes a very fine catch for a Green Bay first down. Now the Packers in position to tie or take the lead here. And Green Bay is in the red zone for the first time today. San Francisco with a field goal. Packers looking to respond. Rodgers fires quickly, caught by Graham again, and he is wrestled down with 3 defenders at the 8. So it didn't work down the stretch of his stint in New Orleans. He goes to Seattle and had a couple of mediocre seasons by his standards. And then here in Green Bay, if Rodgers can make those quick throws like that between the hashes, he should be an absolutely dangerous tight end in the NFC North. 2 tight ends in the ball game for the Packers. 2nd and 1, a handoff to Montgomery. He sweeps to the left and has a Packer first down at the end of the opening quarter. We head to the second as both teams will switch sides in just a moment. San Francisco 3, Green Bay nothing. This is the NFL live stream with Chargerdude95. And the way these two teams will look coming into 2018. And also, the big intrigue, will both of these teams make the NFL Made Madness playoffs? That is a storyline that is certainly one to watch as I continue to progress closer and closer towards Made Madness. As for the exact day I will release the beginning of the season, that remains to be determined, but the entire season will be complete before the start of August. Here's Rodgers who keeps it and strolls in. Touchdown Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers, one of the nifty runners in the NFL. He scrambles quickly, and the Packers on their first drive of the ball game take a quick 6-3 lead in the extra point pending. Aaron Rodgers. And now with Crosby into the ball game, he has a chance to tack on the extra points. Out of the hold from Brett Hundley, the kick is on the way and is good. 8 plays, 76 yards in 3 minutes. And Green Bay takes a 7-3 lead. Thank you, Monica Sherrod, for joining us tonight on the Chargerdude95 live stream. The Patriots are one of the premier clubs out of the NFL. This is a game in which the Patriots and the Packers is a potential Super Bowl 53 matchup. That's just how much I love what Green Bay has currently done free agency-wise, because people, certainly I love Jordy Nelson. In fact, he led the NFL in touchdown catches 2 years ago, but people don't understand. I mean, to be a not necessarily burner as a receiver, not a necessarily fast receiver, Jordy Nelson certainly relied on his route running and his quickness as Goodwin returns, breaks the tackle, and is chased down just short of the 30 as it's to me that Cockrell makes the stop for the Packers. But Green Bay's all-star Jordy Nelson, who was released earlier today in NFL free agency. We see Dreadnought version 111 is updated, but more than that, with Green Bay releasing Jordy Nelson, the Packers, to me, they really put themselves in a position to be big players in free agency. Maybe not for that marquee top prospects as we see some of the dominoes begin to fall, but across the board, it's a very interesting deal right now with the Packers having some cap room. Garropolo shoots it to the sideline, and the pass is caught by a toe-tapping Pierre Garçon. And that's another veteran for the 49ers in his 11th season out of Mount Union. Just in 8 games last year, he was a terrific target for Garropolo and company. And he does indeed pick up the San Francisco first down as the ruling is upheld. And for Jordy Nelson, no longer with the Green Bay Packers, it certainly is a loss. I'm not disputing the fact that he was a terrific receiver, but he certainly is a man which the Packers, if they get enough players to Green Bay, that they can replace. Packers 7, 49ers 3. Glad you're with us. We're on Chargerdude95 live stream. This is the way these two teams look right now, with Richard Sherman on that 49er defense, and as we currently see on the Packers defense, picking up Muhammad Wilkerson in free agency. 1st and 10 with the Packers up 4. Here's Garropolo, a deep drop back. He looks, he sets his feet, rolls to his right, slings it deep across his body, tipped by House, and nearly intercepted, intended for Pierre Garçon. And that'll set up 2nd and 10. We're just underway, second quarter. The head coach, as we see on the screen here, by way a few years ago of Atlanta, Cleveland, Washington, and Houston, Kyle Shanahan, an offensive coordinator for a number of teams across the NFL. Shanahan, who had a terrific tail end of his rookie season, the head coach of San Francisco, as Hyde is wrapped up after a 3-yard gain. All right, San Francisco with Kyle Shanahan, they anticipate to be one of the best teams in the NFL when it comes to him leading this offense. The 49ers, over the course of the year, certainly developed their skills, and as a result, going 5-0 and 6 for their last 7 wins. In fact, to close out the NFL season, they have some promise. A 5-man rush. Garropolo rolls right, throws over the middle. The pass is reeled in by Kittle, No, he dropped it. Incomplete. Morgan Burnett jarred it loose. Kittle appeared to have it between the hashes, but San Francisco will have to punt. So a Discord server, as I'm just figuring out here, Gavin, thank you. I understand the whole chat deal would be an awesome improvement. As for now, I'm trying to figure that deal out. But for folks just joining us, this is the Chargerdude95 live stream between the Packers and the 49ers. Green Bay and San Francisco made some big moves in free agency today, especially the Packers, with letting go of longtime veteran and Jordy Nelson. I made the changes onto this roster here. This is how these two teams look right now. And Green Bay holds a 7-3 lead. Aaron Rodgers, well, he put together a marvelous drive as the Packers drove the ball 70 yards, and Aaron Rodgers capped it off with a 6-yard touchdown run. And it's Green Bay who leads 7-3. First and 10, a stretch handoff right. Here's Montgomery, who's bottled up for a loss. Taken down by Tank Carradine, the 5-year man from Florida State. As we are just underway here, second quarter from Lambeau Field, Green Bay, Wisconsin, the Packers on top by 4. I'd love to get you guys involved also in chat boards and getting you guys here live along with me. As soon as I figure out that technology, that certainly could be a possibility. Second and 11. Here's Rodgers who looks, throws deep down the field, caught by Cobb. First down, Packers. The number on the top ticker does not lie. 5 for 5 throwing the ball. He has been a maestro against Richard Sherman and this 49ers defense tonight. And for Sherman, let's just get to the honest deal about San Francisco's new #1 cornerback, Richard Sherman, who covers up Cobb on this play. Rodgers rolls left, hit as he throws, and it's caught by a stumbling Adams. Green Bay moves the chains again. Boy, Rodgers, he is having a whale of an opening half against the San Francisco defense. Richard Sherman, let's be real, folks. He is a man that had revenge and vengeance on his mind. Monica Sherrod, before you go, again, thank you for joining us. I expect to be back on another live stream Friday, late afternoon. First and 10, Rodgers. He's under pressure and is belted down for a loss by Reuben Foster. Now, of course, I will be here for the remainder of this game tonight as the Packers and the 49ers battle here from Lambeau Field, Green Bay, Wisconsin. But I'll be back at it yet again with two teams yet to be determined. I'd love to get the two most fascinating teams in another live stream this coming Friday. But first, these are the up-to-date to-the-second rosters of the Packers and the 49ers. Quick flip is caught by Graham, who's got 3 catches in this half. And that sets up a 3rd and 8 for the Packers. Aaron Rodgers is wheeling this team down the field again. Boy, this is just a football team that looks completely different with Aaron Rodgers versus whoever they have back there. And that certainly is no slight to a Brett Hundley and all the other QBs that have subbed in for an injured Aaron Rodgers. Off of play action, he looks. He rolls to his left. Plenty of time. Down the field, the pass is caught, but out of bounds. That is the first incompletion for Aaron Rodgers today as the Packers lead 7-3. My Dak Prescott and Carson Wentz, both in their 3rd season in the NFL. Dak Prescott, the 4th-round quarterback by way of Mississippi State. Carson Wentz taken #1 overall by way of North Dakota State. As we see Vogel sending it towards the boundary, and that pump will be marked out of bounds at the 22, an effort of 27 yards for Justin Vogel. As far as I'm concerned, Carson Wentz is a future 5, 6, 7-time All-Pro with the way that he has performed for the Philadelphia Eagles. As for Dak Prescott, he had a marvelous rookie season, reminiscent of a Robert Griffin III. He is certainly more capable of making bigger plays upstairs, in my opinion. Both have similar arm talent. Both are pretty dynamic runners. I know Dak Prescott, he's a dynamic runner. A deep drop, Garropolo looks. He flips it to the sideline, caught by Kittle on the run, who turns the corner. And as a 49er first down, it's a gain of 11. As far as I'm concerned, Carson Wentz is the better player. Dak Prescott is a starter in this league, but I think he is more like what we saw last year than just the anomaly where he led the league in completions. Well, he was torching the NFL, and the Dallas Cowboys went 13-3 under Prescott, who was a rookie. I think he's more of a sophomore man, where NFL teams got a better look at him than the freshman or the rookie, where he just simply caught the league off guard until finally the Giants figured him out in the second half of the year. I believe the Eagles shut him out in the regular season finale. Then, of course, that opening round loss to the Green Bay Packers, and a brilliant game by Aaron Rodgers. So as far as I'm concerned, Carson Wentz is the better player, and Tom Brady is better than Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry, that's just the truth we have to realize. Here's Hyde, who motors left and is brought down after a gain of 7. Make sure to be involved in our comment board tonight, as these are the up-to-date to-the-second rosters as it stands today, March 13, 2018, up to the second rosters of the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. Now, Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, is the second best quarterback in the NFL, and he is a terrific talent, maybe the best talent in the NFL right now. On a stretch run, here's Hyde, who's bottled up short of the first. But when it comes to all of the abilities on and off the field, the intangibles, the winning mentality, the clutch gene, if you will, Tom Brady's the better player than Aaron Rodgers, in my humble estimation. Thank you, Monica Sherrod, for staying with us, along with Gavin Hill and all of our folks who have tuned in here on the Chargerdude95 live stream, mentioning yet again these are the up-to-the-second rosters, with Richard Sherman on the 49ers, Jordy Nelson off, and Jimmy Graham on the Green Bay Packers. Well, the Chargers may just have to be that next team that we have on this NFL live stream. I was contemplating putting them on today, but I want to have the teams like Green Bay, who made the big moves today, and San Francisco with revenge on Richard Sherman's mind. He is ready for vengeance. He is ready to pay back those Seahawks. That's a fascinating story with the 49ers and Jimmy Garropolo, so I wanted to have him on that roster as well, as we see an injury. One of the things that bothers me about this injury deal, who knows who was hurt? It says somebody got injured, but we won't know. Obviously, Rodgers is still in the game right now, as the Packers lead 7-3. Now, the Chargers of Los Angeles, that's my hometown team. Since they were in San Diego, I was involved with the Chargers. I went to the game in which the Chargers won the AFC West in 2008 when they knocked off the Denver Broncos. I was there as a big fan when they let go of Marty Schottenheimer, as we see Jamal Williams check in at tailback. But the Packers and 49ers, I recognize, are fascinating teams right now. Rodgers steps up, flips it left. It's caught over the shoulder by Cobb, who runs out after a gain of 3, chased out of bounds on the play by Eric Reed, the safety from LSU. 2:06 to go in the half, as the Packers lead the 49ers 7-3. Coming up this May, it's called May Madness. I'm going to be simulating all of the up-to-the-second rosters, previewing the 2018 season by simulating the whole year, along with the playoffs, and telling you who wins Super Bowl 53. That's coming up in a mini-series called May Madness this coming May, as I'm sure many anticipated, on Chargerdude95. So make sure to stay tuned, but this is the way the rosters look for the Packers and 49ers right now. 3rd and 4 with both safeties creeping up. With an empty set, Rodgers fires a slant. It's off the hands of Cobb and incomplete. Who was on the coverage? Richard Sherman again. After Rodgers was 7 for his first 7, he's just 1 for his last 4, and it's the Packers who have to punt. Now, Richard Sherman, he is still one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. I mentioned in the last video when I was talking about after the Chiefs in my simulation on Saturday beat the Rams 6-0, as this punt sails end over end. It's taken at the 14 by Marquise Goodwin. He bounces off a tackle, cuts right, and is brought down at the 29. A solid return for Marquise Goodwin, the 6-year man from Texas. As the 49ers trail by 4, Richard Sherman is one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL, and he has taken over the second quarter for those 49ers defense, as Sherman and the Niners trail Jimmy Graham and the Green Bay Packers 7-3. 2-minute drill upcoming for San Francisco as the 49ers split out. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. They'll have a tight end of the slot. Garropolo with a blitz. He sets his feet. He steps up. He shoots it over the middle. A diving catch by Goodwin. First down, San Francisco. It's a gain of 32. What a catch by Goodwin, his first of the ball game. He had 50 last season for the 49ers. And now San Francisco, led by offensive coordinator of 4 different NFL teams, Kyle Shanahan, has the Niners in plus territory at the Green Bay 38. 4 receivers in the ball game. Garropolo to throw. He rolls right. He slings it over the middle. Too tall, intended for Hyde. It's incomplete. Last week I did a couple live streams. On Friday, the Seahawks beat the Eagles 16-9, led by Richard Sherman. So Sherman is 1-0 in these live streams. And now today, with his 49ers down by 4, Garropolo and company are on the move against this Packers revamped defense. As Muhammad Wilkerson is now one of the defensive linemen. A deep drop for Garropolo, flips it. It's caught by Kittle, and he is wrapped up after a short game. The Pittsburgh Steelers, the New England Patriots, 2 of the prime clubs out of the AFC. And then as far as the NFC is concerned, the Green Bay Packers are right up there with the Minnesota Vikings, who won those Kirk Cousins sweepstakes earlier today. And with the Vikings, I understand just how marvelous of a season they had. But let's not forget, they got shellacked by the Eagles 38-7 in the NFC Championship. So before we herald this Vikings team as a Super Bowl contender or winner, let's just remember that the Eagles dominated the Vikings in the regular season, and that's with having an absolute Cinderella year for Case Keenum, where he played most likely the best football he will ever play in his life. Garropolo fires over the middle to Kittle, who picks up a San Francisco first down. So that's certainly an interesting free agency deal today. And yesterday, as a number of teams are finalizing their rosters for 2018 before the draft, but still plenty of football left to be determined before May Madness, where I simulate all of these teams for 2018 and tell you before the season who wins Super Bowl 53. Green Bay 7, San Francisco 3. 49ers knocking on the door here, led by Jimmy Garropolo. Last year, top 10 in the NFL in quarterback rating, ahead of a Phillip Rivers, a Ben Roethlisberger, and a Russell Wilson. That's Jimmy Garropolo, folks. First and 10. Garropolo to throw with a 5-man rush. He flips it left. It's caught by Kittle, who breaks a tackle and motors to the 13. First down, San Francisco, as Kittle, the second-year man from Iowa, picks up another Niner first down. San Francisco is taking their time here, though, as we have under 40 seconds remaining in the opening half. And the 49ers, to my belief, kick off to Green Bay to begin the third quarter, tight 2-2. First and 10 on the left hash. Garropolo looks to throw. He sets his feet, unloads it into the end zone. Too tall and incomplete. 8 of 15, 121 yards for Jimmy Garropolo, but he's searching for a touchdown. 49ers started the season 0-9 before rattling off 6 wins in their final 7 games. And for San Francisco, it was their 4th straight year without a winning record. And they had lost the division every year since 2015. So this team is searching for some sort of success. Garropolo looks, he throws. It's caught by Selleck inside the 5, and he rams his way near the goal line. Touchdown, San Francisco. Garrett Selleck. Yes, the brother of the great Brent Selleck, an undrafted rookie free agent, now in his 7th season in the league, and he has been a vital cog for this 49ers offense. It's the San Francisco 49ers who take the 10-7 lead as the extra point is good following a 7-play, 70-yard drive. Robbie Gould, I understand he is a kicker. I want to give a quick 10 seconds for this guy. Actually, let me give him a quick 20 seconds. Robbie Gould, who was one of the heroes in the dream season that I created earlier this year, or I'm sorry, a few years ago, Robbie Gould has made one Pro Bowl in his career, but last season, he made every kick from beyond 50, 39 of 41 on field goals last year. That's 95%. This man is an absolute beast. And I know we don't have many Hall of Fame kickers or punters. I think this man is in the running at the very least for being in the NFL Hall of Fame. That is kicker Robbie Gould. So that's it. I promise I won't rant about him ever again. I just know he's a beast. And he came from Penn State, which is a nice school. Here's Cobb from the left hash. He returns to the 20, spins, and is wrapped up at the 32. Packers a little short on time here, but they will receive the ball to begin the third quarter. And San Francisco 10, Green Bay 7. The retirements are going, I expect, to pile in here as free agency comes to an end and these teams finalize their rosters. Jason Witten, I believe, will retire after next season. Just my gut feeling. First and 10 with 8 seconds left to go in the half. If the Packers don't gain some yardage here, this should be the final offensive snap for the home team before the half. Rodgers with a 4-man rush. He looks down the field. He guns it deep. It's caught by a leaping Randall Cobb, who breaks a tackle. Cobb in a foot race. 40, 30, 20 to the 10. Randall Cobb on the final play of the half. Touchdown, Green Bay. No need for Jordy Nelson. That's Randall Cobb. His 68-yard touchdown as he bounces off of 4 tackles, and one of them was, yes, Richard Sherman. And it's the Packers who take the lead on the final play of the half. A marvelous catch and run by Randall Cobb. What a play. And Green Bay has the 14-10 lead at the end of the first half. Boy, this has been a great game so far, and we will break down the halftime scores along with the stats and the highlights very quickly as we look at the quick numbers. Boy, the Packers passing game has been just incredible. A first down per play, 10.5 yards per snap for the Green Bay Packers. It all started with a 6-yard touchdown plunge for Aaron Rodgers, who accounted for 2 scores in the opening half. And early second quarter, the Packers at home lead 7-3 after a diving catch by the terrific Marquise Goodwin. The 49ers on the move cap it off with a catch and run for tight end Garrett Selleck. And the 49ers hold the 10-7 lead. I thought the Packers would mail it into the first half, but Randall Cobb bounces off 3 tackles, including Richard Sherman and Adrian Colbert, and it's the Packers who lead 14-10. Rodgers 9 of 11, 161 yards and 2 total touchdowns. If you thought the Packers missed him just a bit, there is a display about how dangerous of a quarterback he is as he throws it right on the money. And the Packers receiver takes it the distance. Just a marvelous play by Randall Cobb. Green Bay 14, San Francisco 10, as the 49ers are reared up to begin what should be an exciting third quarter. First, a quick 10-second break here from Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. This is the Chargerdude95 live stream right here on the NFL. Welcome back. Quick 10-second break. And now it's the 49ers who are set to send it away with Robbie Gould, the kicker by way of Penn State, as mentioned just a moment ago. Green Bay 14, San Francisco 10. These are the up to the second rosters of the Packers and the 49ers. And to no surprise, Aaron Rodgers is lighting up the San Francisco defense. Here's Cobb from the 2 along the numbers of the 20. He makes a man miss, but not another, as he is walloped at the 24-yard line. So the Green Bay Packers are led by one of the great quarterbacks in NFL history in Aaron Rodgers, who is a multi-year Pro Bowler by way of California, He transferred from Butte Community College out of high school to the University of California. I do not have an exact explanation for it, but Rodgers was simply underappreciated. 1st and 10. Packers at their own 24, a handoff to Montgomery on a gut run, and he is wrapped up after a 3-yard pickup. The tackle across the way by number 56. That's Reuben Foster, the second-year pro from the University of Alabama. Roll Tide, the national champions of last season. Green Bay 14, San Francisco 10. Glad you're aboard on the Chargerdude95 live stream. It's the Packers with a 4-point lead. They have the ball to begin the third. 49ers rush 4. It's a gut run on a draw. Here's Montgomery, and he is spilled for a loss by Foster yet again. His second tackle for loss here in the ball game, with Green Bay clinging to a 14-10 lead. As far as what's going on throughout the offseason of football, well, we have free agency that officially begins tomorrow, but of course, there still is plenty of action remaining to be determined even tonight as Rodgers shoots it deep. A diving catch by Davis, who is tagged down to the 46-yard line. A gain of 28. First down, Green Bay. This man is just an absolute machine as he picks apart this 49ers defense. By San Francisco, they may not be the league's best defense, but they gave up under 24 points a game last year. Green Bay may score 35 by the time this game is over. A handoff to Williams, and he is stopped after a gain of 2. The tackle by Malcolm Smith, who's coming off a torn pectoral, now in his 8th season out of USC. Nearly 2 minutes into the third, Green Bay with a 14-10 lead. And for the Packers, this is a performance that really showcases Aaron Rodgers and this team that has all of the abilities to make the NFL sim and the Made Madness playoffs. 2nd and 8. Rodgers rolls to his right. He has a first down to the 40, to the 30. Rodgers scrambles ahead to the 23-yard line. What can this man not do? Aaron Rodgers, it's Tart with the tackle. I may need to think that if Aaron Rodgers stays healthy, this may be a Super Bowl roster even without Jordy Nelson. In fact, many would argue that the Packers would much rather have a multi-dimensional blocking and receiving tight end in Jimmy Graham for less money than Jordy Nelson as Rodgers completes to Cobb. 1st and goal, Green Bay. This 49ers defense is getting ripped to shreds by Aaron Rodgers. What a performance for the Packer quarterback. It's a 1st and goal upcoming for Green Bay at the 2 with just over 4 minutes to go in the third. And Aaron Rodgers is establishing himself as arguably, after this season or next, the greatest quarterback in the NFL. Montgomery, he is drilled for a loss. 49ers saw it coming, including the big fella from Oregon, DeForest Buckner, in his 3rd season, 45 tackles last year. Buckner is an up-and-coming star in the NFL. It's Buckner along with Earl Mitchell on the stop for San Francisco. 2nd and goal. 3 receivers in the ball game as they bring in Tate in the slot. Looks like the Packers will back it up 5.
False start, offense.
Looks like they'll be backed up to the 11-yard line. To my belief, I am one of the few, if not the only, YouTube channelers who do these up-to-the-second roster live streams that feature some of these great NFL programs in the midst of their offseason acquisitions. I just think this is a fascinating deal. I'm glad for all the folks who are involved. 2nd and goal. Rodgers fires over the middle to Graham, who stumbles down to the 6. 12 and 14, 215 yards, a touchdown in the air, a touchdown on the ground. Aaron Rodgers, I mean, the man is just remarkable. He does some things for Green Bay that even a Tom Brady cannot do. And I love me some Tom Brady, but Aaron Rodgers is an absolute superstar for the Green Bay Packers. 3rd down and goal from the 6. Rodgers fires over the middle to Devontae Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. What a performance tonight, picking apart the San Francisco defense by way of 3 touchdowns total to the Packer QB, Aaron Rodgers. Last season, in and out of the lineup due to injuries, throwing for 16 TDs and just 6 picks, but 3 of those interceptions came after an early return against Carolina in a pivotal December contest, which really eliminated their season. And Green Bay on top 21-10 here with 3:06 to go in the third quarter. They're searching for the knockout punch against the struggling 49ers, who revamped both sides of the football, acquiring Richard Sherman at cornerback and center Weston Richburg, formerly from the New York Giants. So the 49ers are even better than the team that won 6 out of 7 to close out last year, but they still are looking for a marquee drive on offense to fall back into the ballgame. Here's the kickoff by Crosby. He sends it deep. It's a booming kickoff taken out of the end zone by Mostert. He returns to the 10 and gets walloped at the 18-yard line. And that's where the San Francisco 49ers take over, down 21-10. It's Jimmy Garropolo trying to rally the troops, and he has been hit and harassed a majority of this game by this Packers defense. San Francisco last year, they finished the season top 3rd in the league in total offense, over 345 yards per game for the 49ers, but they have a grand total of 134 in this game, down by 11, a handoff to Hyde, and another short game for Carlos Hyde as he squirts to the 21. It's a pickup of 3. This is my 3rd live stream here at Lambeau Field, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Seattle won the first live stream over the Philadelphia Eagles. Many expect the Eagles to make it to Super Bowl 53. I certainly think they have a great chance to, and you'll see it first on this YouTube page in less than 2 months. But they lost to the Seahawks 16-9. Here's Hyde, who cuts it left. He crosses the 30. He breaks a tackle and powers his way to the 36. It's Mike Daniels to stop after a run of 15 to Carlos Hyde. First down, San Francisco. The second live stream was on Saturday, and the Chiefs won that game in Los Angeles 6-0, a game in which their big tradee, with Alex Smith leaving town, Kendall Fuller, the former corner of Washington, had 2 interceptions, including a game clincher with less than 2 minutes left. Garropolo hit as he throws, complete to Taylor. He turns the corner to the 50 and is taken down at the Green Bay 45. First down, San Francisco again, as Trent Taylor, who was a 5th-round receiver last year from Louisiana Tech, makes his second catch. He is a dynamic slot man for San Francisco. The 49ers need his services, down 21-10 to Green Bay. Late in the third in a thrilling football game, Garropolo calls signals. Here's Breda, who finds a seam, then is slammed just short of the 40. It's a 4-yard pickup to the former undrafted tailback, Matt Breda. That time Morgan Burnett on the tackle for Green Bay. The Packers got off to an early lead thanks to the first of 3 touchdowns total for Aaron Rodgers. He scored on a 6-yard plunge early on in the second quarter to give Green Bay the 7-3 lead. Then he scores in the final play of the half. Rodgers to Devontae Adams. He finds another short touchdown strike, and the Packers are fielding an 11-point lead. Hyde and the 49ers moving quickly down the field. They face a 3rd down and 1 after the short run. This has really been a thrilling football game, especially if the 49ers can figure out a way to answer the Green Bay score. 3 backs in the backfield for San Francisco, going left to right. Garropolo fires over the middle, caught by Wick to the 30, and he sprints ahead to the 22-yard line. A catch and run of 14 yards to Wick, who makes his first catch of the ball game. I certainly didn't think he would be in the fold for the San Francisco game plan, but he certainly makes a big play. And now the 49ers are matriculating near the red zone here. Garropolo a solid 11 of 18. It's really just been an enjoyable football game between 2 great quarterbacks. Garropolo throws it in traffic to Garcon, who makes the catch and gains 8 on the final play of an exciting third quarter here from Lambeau Field. We have switched sides. San Francisco to begin the fourth quarter on a second down and short. Now, this is one of those games where it certainly won't dictate who will win Super Bowl 53. At least to my knowledge, no. But the 49ers and the Packers, they have really given these fans a treat here in prime time at Lambeau Field. Second and short. Early movement and a false start is called on the San Francisco offense.
False start, offense.
Here's a recap of some of the free agent moves in the NFL this week, and especially today. There have been some big ones across the league. Jonathan Stewart signing with the New York Giants to fortify that running back core. That may be a big impact on whether Saquon Barkley becomes the number 2 overall pick to the New York Giants. Maybe they decide with Stewart to avoid tailback and go at quarterback. Here's Hyde as he bursts up ahead to the 15 and is walloped at the 11. An 8-yard gain for Hyde. Another tackle for Daniels. First down, San Francisco. Other movements across the NFL. Prince Amukamara joins what is a completely different roster for the Chicago Bears, signing a 3-year, $27 million contract and agreeing to a absolutely astonishing deal would be the term to use here, is quarterback Josh McCown, who expects to be a backup in just about every roster in the NFL. A 1-year, $10 million contract extension for the New York Jets. Yeah. Chris Hubbard, a 5-year deal for the Cleveland Browns at guard. Drew Brees extends to 2 years, $50 million for the New Orleans Saints as the 49ers go backwards again. And also, as we continue to take a whip around the NFL, some big contracts delivered to quarterback Case Keenum, now a member of the Denver Broncos. And lastly, Jordy Nelson, who has been released by the Green Bay Packers. And this is all during the preliminary period. The real NFL free agency begins tomorrow at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. So these teams are absolutely anxious to get themselves going when it comes to these roster shakeups in the NFL free agency. Breida is taken down by Daniels. Just 4 tackles listed today, but I think he has made a much bigger impact than the 4 listed there. Third down and 12. Under 6 minutes left to go in the ball game as Green Bay leads 21-10. First down make is at the 1-yard line, tight 2x2. Garropolo a deep drop. He is blitzed, rolls to his right. He looks down the field. He has plenty of time and loads it over to Kittle. Touchdown, San Francisco. We are back and forth. May Madness should be good, but first, the 49ers are putting madness against this Green Bay defense as Garropolo throws another scoring strike, his second touchdown of the game. Now San Francisco keeps their offense out there to go for 2 with a chance to trim the lead to 3, but another false start will be called on the 49ers offense. All right, thanks, Gavin, for joining me tonight, along with several others here on the Chargerdude95 live stream. Green Bay 21, San Francisco 16. Gavin, I'd like to hear your thoughts about what you think was the biggest free agent move today. So Green Bay with a 5-point lead, and it should be noted the 49ers, who were one of the league's worst offenses last year in terms of points per game, they come into this season as arguably one of the most improved teams on that end of the football in the NFL by fortifying their offensive line today, and also the emergence of Jimmy Garropolo. Here is Hyde of the 2-point try. It's unsuccessful, rather creative. And now San Francisco's deficit is down to 5. 21-16, 5:33 remaining, and an exciting football game here from Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The Packers with 3 touchdowns today, accounted for 1 on the ground, 2 in the air by all-star Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback who was hurt all but just 7 games last year for the Packers, but still managed to pull this team into playoff contention before a disheartening Week 15 loss to the Carolina Panthers, in which he really struggled. Jimmy Graham has been a solid addition to the Green Bay Packers, as we've seen in this game today, along with star Danny Amendola, now for the Dolphins. In my opinion, Amendola, who was a terrific slot receiver for the New England Patriots, as we see the return is out to the 25-yard line. Amendola reminds me a whole lot of a Wes Welker, a whole lot of several other slot receivers and other wideouts for the New England Patriots, who make big impacts when they are with Tom Brady and fall off a cliff when they leave Tom Brady. That's the impact that the all-star Tom Brady has. And we'll see if Danny Amendola flourishes under Ryan Tannehill. My thoughts are he takes a drop-off. 1st and 10 with 2 tight ends. Rodgers fires quickly off the hands of Cobb as it's jarred loose. Incomplete as Reuben Foster makes another one of those bone-crushing collisions. And that's just the 3rd incomplete pass of the football game for Aaron Rodgers. It brings up 2nd and 10. 5:26 remaining here in the 4th quarter from Lambeau Field, Green Bay, Wisconsin. The 49ers, who started last year 0-9, are searching for their first division title in 4 years, their first winning season in 5. Stretch handoff to Montgomery to the right side, and he is bottled up short of the 30 as Carradine makes the stop, along with Richard Sherman, the cornerback from Stanford, who made a pretty solid impact for the Seattle Seahawks in limited time. 5:04 to go here in the 4th. Richard Sherman, he allowed the 2nd fewest yards per attempt his way in the NFL during his limited stint last year with the Seahawks. 3rd and 5, Rodgers fires over the middle to Adams. He just needs to cut it out. Aaron Rodgers is not giving this 49er defense a break. Eric Reed, the tackle. 1st down, Green Bay. The 49ers, with the way Rodgers is picking apart the secondary, Jimmy Garropolo may not even get the football back tonight. Tight 2-by-2 for Green Bay. Back to throw, Rodgers. He looks, he rolls to his right. He dumps it off. It's incomplete. Reuben Foster is everywhere tonight. He was on the coverage. He's also made some big tackles and some big collisions. So Made Madness is coming up in less than 2 months. And that features the up-to-the-second rosters for these NFL teams. I will simulate all 32 to figure out who makes the playoffs, who makes Super Bowl 53, and who wins it. 2nd and 10, Allison to the left slot. It's Rodgers who fires over the middle. Caught helmet eye by Allison, who takes a tumble to the 44. It's a short gain of 4 as Smith makes the stop. As far as the rosters, I will upload the up-to-the-second rosters before Made Madness begins. It will all be accessible on YouTube, along with a download community file that you can access on the PlayStation 4 and any other mode of sending. I would be glad to have everyone involved and get a feel themselves for the way that I set up these rosters and the way that I get these teams into their most accurate representation of what they'll look like in 2018. As Jones picks up another Green Bay 1st down on a gain of 12. Not only will the rosters be accessible on the community files and also on a number of other formats, but also the sliders, which is a very intriguing deal. I have messed with these throughout the last couple months, and I believe they are about as accurate as they can be. Aaron Rodgers, 16 of 21 against this 49ers defense. He's not overly inaccurate. In fact, I have dumbed down the quarterback accuracy slider from 50 to 42, so that is certainly a bit farther than most guys will take it, but I have dumbed it down along with a number of other things on offense I've dumbed down, and still Green Bay is having success. Rodgers looks, he fires it deep, it's off the hands and incomplete of his intended target, Geronimo Allison, as Solomon Thomas knocked it away, the 2nd-year man from Stanford. 3rd and 10. 3:18 remaining in the 4th quarter. This is a pivotal 3rd down for both teams, and this crowd knows it. Davis in the right slot with 3 receivers total. First down make is at the 35. Off to die. Rodgers flings it deep. Leaping catch by Cobb. First down, Green Bay. Randall Cobb, 5 catches, 116 yards, and a touchdown for the Packers as he brings this hometown team to an absolute frenzy. And now the Packers, they can chew up some clock, and it looks like they will. Just one more offensive snap to go before the 2-minute warning for the Green Bay Packers. First and 10, Rodgers to throw. He fires it. It's caught by Yancey, and he sprints ahead to the 18-yard line. First down, Green Bay, and that will be the final play before the 2-minute warning for the Packers. Aaron Rodgers, a clinic for the Packers, throwing for nearly 300 yards, and he may not get another attempt again. As Green Bay is rolling, they lead it by 5 and have a red zone trip against the struggling 49ers defense. You plug in a Richard Sherman, who has made some plays today, and you tag him along with some studs across that defense, with an Eric Reed, with a Reuben Foster, a DeForest Buckner, and even a Tank Carradine. But the 49ers are proving in this fourth quarter drive to be no match. 2 by 2. Rodgers looks. He rolls. He throws to the right side. It's incomplete. That pass intended for Montgomery, though they do say he caught the football. A 2-yard gain. He appeared to be out of bounds. And it looks like they'll go onto the hood for this play. And I was right. It's incomplete. That's a big play as it stops the clock. 1:56 remaining in the fourth quarter here from Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. A quick update from NBA action. J.R. Smith, one of the top Cavaliers, has been benched, and his head coach never notified him about it, according to reports. The handoff to Montgomery. He gains 4 as the timeout is called. 1:52 remaining in the fourth quarter here from Lambeau Field. Packers can win the football game with a first down pickup. We'll see if they can move the chains here against the defense that has been reeling seemingly the entire game. The Packers, they have revamped both sides of the football, adding Jimmy Graham to their offense, Muhammad Wilkerson to their defense. Deshaun Kaiser is now a member of this Green Bay football team. And let's be real, folks. Aaron Rodgers, I love him. He is playing great football today, but the man's injury prone. It's yet another display of how great he is, but how much the Packers miss him. A stretch handoff to Montgomery. First down, Packers, and Green Bay, barring a disaster, is going to win the football game here from Lambeau Field. And this, to me, isn't too inaccurate. If you add in an Aaron Rodgers who is now healthy and all of the big pieces, this is a team that can really make some noise out of the NFC North. You go along with the Vikings club, who had a whale of a season with Case Keenum, but I don't believe they're going to be as good next year. And you can look no farther than the NFC Championship game, which they got demolished against the Eagles, and it took a miracle for them to beat the Saints a week earlier. So I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year. The Detroit Lions are the Detroit Lions. The Bears are going to be pretty good, but are they going to be playoff good? I believe probably not. The throw complete to Graham for a gain of 3. And out called by Shanahan and the 49ers their final. Technically, the game isn't over, but the Packers, they can run the clock to under 25 seconds. Second and goal. Aaron Rodgers, an absolute beautiful performance for the Packers. He throws just 6 incompletions on the day, and it looks like the Packers are on their way towards the win against these 49ers. 6-10 last year. My early guess, I think the Packers, if they get the health that they should have, now with Aaron Rodgers back in the lineup, I think Green Bay finishes the regular season with a record of 10-6. And I think the 49ers go about 8-8. Play action Rodgers. He is hit. He breaks off a tackle. He throws to the end zone, and it's nearly intercepted. That is a marvelous job escaping the rush by Aaron Rodgers, but unfortunately for the Packers, the clock stops, and that gives San Francisco a chance late in this fourth quarter. So certainly the Packers are in mode for high drama here as they go to a I formation. 49ers crowd the box. Stretch handoff here is Ty Montgomery. He finds a seam, but is chased down from behind. That's Earl Mitchell to tackle, along with Malcolm Smith. Field goal unit will check into the game, led by All-Pro Mason Crosby. This is shorter than a point after try to give the Packers an 8-point lead. Out of the hold from Hundley. The kick by Mason Crosby on the left hash from 21 yards. It's on the way, and Crosby knocks it through. The kick is good. 52 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. Green Bay 24, San Francisco 16. All right, thank you, Gavin Hill. The funny thing is, you have been a member of Chargerdude95 since 2011, 2010. I recognize your name a long time ago. Since then, I have changed drastically in all aspects of my life, in my opinion. I am more than thrilled to do this simulation. It is an absolute honor to do it. And, like Gavin, I mean, you just seem to be here since day one. As Goodwin breaks a tackle and motors into 26. Now, Gavin is talking about the Packers and 49ers meeting in this building for the DSFL 1 back in 2010. The DSFL 1, for folks who don't remember, it was a battle of the greatest 32 individual football teams for a given season in NFL history. You saw Joe Montana and Jerry Rice with the San Francisco 49ers. You also saw a number of great football teams, such as the Packers when Antonio Freeman and Brett Favre were there, as Garropolo throws too tall, intended for George Kittle. It's incomplete. But to even throw in, I mean, the 76 Raiders, George Atkinson, Kenny Stabler, and those Raiders bunch. How about the 81 Chargers with Dan Fouts and Wesley Chandler? And it goes certainly on and on. And for the 49ers, this team, even without a Jerry Rice, they seem to be pretty good out of the NFC. Garropolo throws. It's caught by Taylor. 40, 35-30. He's down the left sideline and escorted out of bounds at the 25. Garropolo with 14 completions, none bigger than the one to Trent Taylor, as the 49ers have reached the Green Bay 25. High drama here from Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, as the 49ers can tie the ball game with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. 1st and 10 with the 49ers out of timeouts. Garropolo fires over the middle. It's caught by Kittle. Touchdown, San Francisco. What a throw and an even better catch by George Kittle. This Packers defense has been torched by Jimmy Garropolo in the second half. Back-to-back scoring drives for the visitors of San Francisco. They can tie the ball game with a 2-point conversion. This game is very much similar to the Colts and Browns game in the DSFL 2, where the Colts came back down 15 in the fourth quarter to win it in overtime. San Francisco down by 8 here in the fourth. They can tie it at 24. The 2-point try. They missed the first. Garropolo for the second. He is retreating and is belted for a loss. Taken down in the backfield by the big fella. That is Robinson with the stop, and the Packers are an onside kick recovery from winning the ball game. That's an important stop by that Green Bay defense. And now it looks like the Green Bay Packers are going to get their best unit onto the field. I'm going to take a quick look at the Green Bay Packers from last year. The 2017 version going 7-9. Ironically, they were one of the league's worst on both ends of the football, offense and defense. But the man who makes the play to save the day for the Green Bay Packers is Kenny Clark, it appears. No, oh my goodness, I can't believe I missed him. That was Muhammad Wilkerson who makes the stop. Sorry, the onside kick recovered by Davis and the Packers are going to win the game. That was a thrilling performance here from Lambeau Field, but the Packers, with a kneel down by Aaron Rodgers, will win the football game. Now, let's take a quick look at the post-game numbers in just a moment, but we've had 3 live streams, and every one of them have been incredibly good. Yes, thank you, Gavin Hill. For this entire game, I feel like I've done okay. And then Muhammad Wilkerson makes the play, and I just draw a huge blank. So Aaron Rodgers takes a knee, and that will do it. The Green Bay Packers 24, San Francisco 22. The 49ers, ironically, for all of the big late-game heroics, in fact, 3 game-winning drives by Jimmy Garropolo in his 7 starts. But the 49ers offense, they make the big mistakes deep in the red zone, in critical situations on 3rd and 4th downs, and San Francisco, a valiant effort on the road, but the 49ers fall short to the Green Bay Packers. The final score here from Lambeau Field, it's Green Bay 24, San Francisco 22. Thank you so much for being a part of the Chargerdude95 live stream. There's 3 great football games. Seahawks over the Eagles 16-9, Chiefs over the Rams 6-0, and then of course Green Bay 24 and San Francisco 22. Rodgers accounted for 3 touchdowns total in the terrific game. And Gavin, I will not make you wait any longer, as tonight I'll display the sliders. How would you like me to upload those to you? Also, the Green Bay Packers, with the victory, have fortified themselves as being an absolute contender for the playoffs out of the NFC and a certain chance to win May Madness and be victorious in Super Bowl 53. But it's a victory for now for the Green Bay Packers over San Francisco, 24-22. Aaron Rodgers, who was marvelous in the ballgame, led a Packers offense who accounted for 330 yards, nearly 300 through the air, and also was a football team 6 of 9 on 3rd downs. Rodgers himself, 19 of 27, 276 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Jimmy Garropolo, his first full year as a starter against the Packers, 15 of 23, 260, and 3 touchdowns. In the receiving game, no Jordy Nelson, no problem for the Packers. Randall Cobb, the 8-year man now out of Kentucky, picking up the slack, 5 receptions, 116 yards, and a touchdown. On the defensive end, the game-winning play is made by the star, formerly from the Seahawks and the Jets. That is Muhammad Wilkerson. His only tackle of the ball game. It's a game winner for the Green Bay Packers. Mike Daniels leading the way with 6. As for the 49ers, they made some big acquisitions, but it's tight end George Kittle who is the big boost for the 49ers, the former 5th-round tight end from Iowa, with some big plays. And furthermore, the 49ers, that defense shored up at least on the back end by cornerback Richard Sherman. 3 tackles today, including a pass deflection. So these are the total numbers for both of these football teams, who had some marvelous performances today en route to a Green Bay victory, 24-22. So that'll conclude my coverage tonight of the NFL live stream, where Green Bay victorious by 2 over the San Francisco 49ers. I'll link up with you, Gavin Hill, but it's the Packers who win it in the 3rd live stream. That'll do it here on our coverage of Madden NFL 18. Back on Friday for more up-to-the-second rosters who will battle it out in Madden 18. Good night.